The Tour franchise gets a much anticipated update for 2026, and today we have the lightest member of the family, the Prince Tour 100, 290 grams. And now for 2026, there's just a couple small technology updates to this frame. The first was isofiber, and the second is the anti-torque system, or the ATS system. Both are in the layup and kind of have helped with increased torsional stability, maybe a little bit of power. And then as far as specs are concerned, it has a 16 by 18 string pattern and a pretty maneuverable, like 3/16 swing weight.
Yeah, there was one other one that I did notice, and the stiffness went up for a couple points only, but to about 64. And I don't know if it was a combination of this increased stiffness as well as the ATS and the isofiber, but I felt like this version compared to the previous one had a little bit more pop. I didn't think it had affected the feel at all. I thought that the feel was still there and it was very comfortable for me. I just really appreciated that. And then you also mentioned that it has a 16 by 18 string pattern. And when I see 16 by 18 string patterns as a flat hitter, I get a little worried that my balls are just gonna like sail. But this one, I had no issues keeping the ball down and in the court. You know, I have hit with other 16 by 18 string patterns from Prince, like the Rip stick, and that one, the ball goes up pretty high, and you really need to use spin to get down into the court. With this Prince racket, really, the Tour 100 290, no issues on either my forehand or backhand caving it down into the court.
Yeah, now we have two different kind of styles of play. You're a little bit more counter puncher, gets a lot of balls back. I like to be a little bit more aggressive and really step into the ball. So what I really liked with this Tour 100 290 was that it was really maneuverable. I was really able to generate that racket head speed. And I was actually really surprised with the amount of control I got for being such a lightweight racket. I never felt, combined with that 16 by 18 string pattern, which I was afraid I was gonna be launching as well, I actually thought it was lower than expected. And so I could really kind of swing out and be really kind of controlled and precise with my shots. I did need just a little bit more power for me. Personally, just how I play when I was kind of attacking the ball, I felt like I had to put maybe a little bit more effort, get that racket head going around to really kind of penetrate the court.
It's funny that you mentioned that you needed a little bit more power. I do use a Prince Tour racket. I use the 100P as my usual racket, and comparatively, that one is way more control-oriented. So for when I'm switching between the two, this is the racket. The 290 is the one that I'm gonna go to if I'm playing a more attacking game, because I was getting a little bit more free power. I think it comes around faster, so I can swing faster, and the string pattern does offer a little bit more free power than that 18 by 20 on that 100P. As I move to net, I'm gonna move up to net. I just thought the standout for me was how quickly it moves. I'm not a strong volleyer, and I really need help with my confidence up there, and maneuverability is a big factor in that. And so I was feeling like I could get the racket there in time when I needed it, and the stability. For 290 grams, I thought the stability was great.
I agree. I thought the combination of maneuverability and stability was what shined at net. I got to play with it in singles, got some doubles playing it as well, so really kind of put it through the test. And I was really shocked for being a 290 gram how stable it was. Now, every now and again, there was a time when I had to kind of maybe squeeze the handle a little bit to absorb some pace, but for the most part, I was able to really be efficient with my volleys. And I've been a big fan of the Prince feel since my junior days, and so I just feel really connected to the string bed. I was really able to kind of be creative and hit some kind of shorter shots or some fun shots, as well as kind of punch the volley away.
I think that brings us to starting the point off, and on returns and serves, I'm always a more confident returner than I am server, so I really did like it on returns. I think that it's probably my flattest shot overall, my return, and didn't have any issues here with keeping the ball down and in the court. I thought the maneuverability was there, so I felt confident that I could get my racket on most returns. And the stability, again, I mean, it's not gonna be as stable as a 310 gram racket, but at 290, I thought it was good. On serves, I think I do prefer my own racket. I do like how heavy that one is because I can get lazy on my serve motion. The heavier racket helps me remind me to pull through. So I needed to be cognizant of just snapping my wrist and really completing my stroke. But I really liked how easy it was to swing, which meant I didn't get tired during service games. And I think the open string pattern helped with the net clearance. So I wasn't hitting the net as often, so I was serving pretty consistently.
I actually had a hard time choosing between serve and return. If I had the choice, I'd always return, but with this Tour 100, kind of liked it a little bit for different reasons on each stroke. On serve, I really liked how consistent I could be with my stroke, do the same swing over and over again throughout the playtest. And I didn't get to mention this on my baseline, but I do really like the spin potential I have off this, and I was using that on my serves, whether I was kind of slicing it out wide or mixing it up with the kick. It wasn't the heaviest of serves with the 290 grams, just not a lot of weight behind it, but I was still getting some decent miles per hour with the Zenith data, maybe a little bit lower than my average with my racket of choice. And then on returns, again, it was just easy to get that racket into position. So I'd step up, be aggressive, and was able to kind of go after the ball. Now I would like a little bit more weight, but that's what I was expected with a 290 gram racket. But for the most part, I was actually really impressed with how well I could return with the racket.
Yeah, I think we've hit just about every part of the court, but I think we did forget to mention what we strung the racket with. So we used a couple of Prince Polys. We used Vortex and Tour XP, and we strung it at our usual about 52 pounds. I want to throw in that, I am a Tour 100P user, but I really, really like this 290, and I'm really gonna play with the weight of this because I think as I'm getting a little older, I want something that swings a little bit faster, and it could come down to who my opponent is. If I'm gonna hit with you, I'm gonna want to probably pull out my 100P because I need that stability, and I want something that just is gonna be able to absorb that pace. But when I'm looking to be the aggressor, I think I might be pulling this one out.
Now, my final thoughts on this is we were both actually on the previous playtest of this, and I think players that liked the previous generation will have no problem transitioning to this. It's really some small updates, but I feel like they were all positive steps. And then I also think this is a really great platform racket. I think there's a lot of customization options. The swing weight's a little bit lower, so you can bump it up if you are looking for a little bit more stability. And overall, I think it's just a unique offering because it is a lighter weight racket with a little bit more control. So I think that wraps up our playtest of the Prince Tour 100 290. For more information on this racket or any others, please check us out at Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.